Hi guys, back again. This is another interim update, Halloween Horror. So, what do we got? I just wanted really just to share the work I've been doing on the spawning of the graves, the enemies spawning from the graves. So, we'll get into it. As you can see, Quasi's still just dropping in. A bit like he did on Christmas Cake, but that'll change. He'll have a fancy little spawn routine eventually. I've just not got around to doing that yet because it's low priority for me. But yeah, so yeah, all is quiet on the screen, and that's how it's going to start. So yeah, so there'll be nothing moving around, and you'll probably just have a bit of spooky music in the background. You think, what's going on? What have I got to do? So you've got really, obviously, the idea of this game is to find these special pumpkins which are going to help you defeat the big bad end of game boss. So yeah, so you still got all your weapons and what have you. I've still not finished the garlic. I've had an idea for the garlic bombs eventually, finally now, so that's going to change eventually soon. Fire swirls are still the same, yeah, and these proton ones are going to change as well. Okay, so yeah, so all is quiet. So what you got to do? You might have a bat or something flying around on the screen to start with, and maybe something small. I mean, bats are pretty much just going to be a nuisance in this game anyway, so they're not really worth killing or shooting bats or anything, so they're just going to be there. They might take a little point of damage off you or something if you jump into them, but nothing too drastic, so they'll be there as an annoyance more than anything else. Yeah, so let's get on to it. Graves. So yeah, to summon obviously whatever enemies are hidden in these gravestones, you've just got to stomp on them, which I've obviously shown you in previous previews. But what I've done since the last update is now I've got the full routine that I wanted, which was when you stomp on these graves, they'll flash for a little bit just to indicate there's something about to emerge, and then that enemy will emerge. As you can see from the background graphics, I've changed the iron fences to these like bone fragments. So we've now got like bone fragments dotted around, which will probably give you an indicator of what's going to probably appear from these from these graves when jumping on these little gravestones. So let's just give one a go. And there we go. We have something flashing red, and then after that, oh look, we have a scallywag coming out of the grave with a bit of soil on his head to start with as well. So it's just like he was pushing up the earth as he made his way out and starts walking around. Now he's walking around back and forth at this moment in this preview, but he won't always just walk around like this. Because if you were just standing around and all you do was stand around, what's going to happen? That's going to be pretty boring, isn't it? So, and obviously the idea of this game as well, it's a flick screen game rather than just a single screen game. But at the same time, I'm toying with stopping you going to the next screen straight away, purely because I think it might take too long for you to find all these special pumpkins. I don't know yet. I'll see what happens in the next few weeks when I add more in. But I'm thinking you may have to find the special pumpkin that's hidden on each screen before you progress. So as soon as you get the special pumpkin, then you can go on to the next one. That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm toying with at the moment. I don't know. It might work. It might not. But I'm thinking if you were going through all the screens, just going back and forward, and then eventually, because what will happen is the enemies, the skeletons, they won't just keep walking back. Like I say, after so many walking back, they'll go back to the graves and they'll probably just go back into the ground. So that gives you a bit of a like, you know, it spurs you on to actually do something about them rather than just watching them. So there's a point to it, and then eventually I'll probably have another enemy just coming on screen chasing you around if you're not being quick enough about things. So that'll be like similar to Boris in Christmas Caper or Von Bubba in Bubble Bobble and things like that. So there's no point hanging around. But yeah, so what I do as well is as soon as you get into with a distance, the skeletons will start to fire, similar to what elves did, but the elves carried on walking. Skeletons won't. They'll be a bit different. They'll be a bit more evil. So there's a few extra things I'm going to put in there for them to make them a bit more fully featured. So don't expect them just to be a pushover, and they will get more difficult. So as they emerge from the graves, they'll be like at the first level of difficulty, I suppose you want to say, and then as if another one emerges or gets reincarnated, whatever you want to say, then that might not be as easy to defeat. So there'll be additions in the AI for them, and then by the third time it'll probably be the most difficulty, I would think, and it'll probably stop at that level. So I'll probably 3 levels of difficulty for AI, and they might do a few extra things as well, which I'm not going to say anything about because I don't want to spoil it. But there's some extra things planned. So you go onto this. There you go. Your stalker's being spat out by the Triffid. Flying around, like, go away, leave me alone. And then they will damage you as well. So that's the other gravestone. Just want to see that emerge. Now the only other thing as well is, depending on which side of the gravestone Quasi is. Oh, here we go. See, I've just chased around. Yeah, just to get that one on screen as well. Yeah, so depending on which side of the gravestone that Quasi is, then I'll probably have them heading towards you rather than away. So there'll be some logic in there just to check which side Quasi is, and then have the whatever enemy is spawning go in your direction to start with. And that probably means they'll fire if you're too close as well. So just watch out, because they're not to be messed with. There won't be anyway. Once the game's finished, it's like about that distance. I don't know how far I do it with the elves in Christmas Caper, the proximity check, but yeah, they won't, like I say, they won't be just walking and just firing all the time. They'll stand still and then they'll fire. Yeah, which I think will be a better way in this one. So you won't be able to just necessarily just jump over them like you could with an elf in Christmas Caper. You won't be able to do that, I don't think. So yeah, like I say, it'll be significant, and I want to make these changes, the differences, and to the last game, because otherwise you just think, oh, it's just the same as the last game. So a lot of things are going to change. The way things appear and fight you, attack you, anything. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Triffids. Yeah, and then obviously if there's the way to defeat the Triffids, you've got to work out how to do that as well. And there'll be an extra thing that I've got another idea for something else that they're going to be doing as well. Lots of ideas, but yeah. So you can imagine the state where it is at the moment. There's a lot I need to add in, and so probably it's not going to be ready for this October, sadly. But so it's going to be October 26th, I think now. But I think in the end it'll be worth it. And I talked previously about pushing this game into a cartridge format, and that might just open up a few more opportunities for extra things, which is nice. So I'll be looking at that as well. But we'll see how we go. It's yeah, I'll just like stick at it when I can. Not had a lot of time to do much, and that's why obviously it's just fallen behind where I wanted it to be. But these things happen. Life gets in the way. We are where we are with it. But yeah, so that was only really, like I say, the thing I wanted to share was the spawning animation. Like I say, there'll be the despawn animation going in as well. In the next few weeks, I'll just keep track of how many times these skeletons have been walking around, and then I'll get them to return to the graves and disappear, things like that. So that shouldn't be too difficult to do, I would think. I'm just trying to keep these routines pretty universal, so that the because on Christmas Caper, how it was written was each skeleton in each zone, the code was all like unique essentially to itself, whereas this is a lot of reuse code. I pass in parameters into the routines and save myself like a mountain of memory on code, which is a good thing, but it does take some thinking about some time. So I like the checking of like which zone Quasimodo's in as well, and I can use that as like indexes to dealing with these enemies and what have you. But and getting the correct grave to flash and animate and stuff like that. But it's all good fun. Keeps your brain active, I'll say that. But yeah, so bones for fences on this screen. Then there's like brick walls, like I say, for it's more of a churchyard spooky theme. And then I've not got to the other side. There's going to be another stage yet, which is going to be feature even more sinister things. I was thinking of maybe just toying with one screen, maybe having like multiple triffid bits, and another one having like multiple swamp bits just to vary it. So each screen had a theme, and that was another idea I toyed with. Well, but so like we've got phantoms on one screen, so it might be just all phantoms on another, and you have to deal with them. They're all coming at you. But yeah, it's all ideas anyway at the moment. It's a lot of changes going on. Nothing stays the same when you're developing. It really doesn't. It just changes from week to week. It really does. But yeah. So anyway, Preview 4D, little interim update. Like I say, comments and thoughts as always appreciated. I've not said it for a while, but like and subscribe if you haven't done already. I appreciate those who have taken the time to. So yeah, I'll crack on with the game in the interim, and I will see you in another preview. I don't know when we're going to get to preview 5 because I keep doing these little interim updates, but it will happen eventually, and it'll probably be everything that I wanted to like feature all in one. So there'll be updates to the weapons, enemies firing, collision probably. That'll be the next big update, preview 5, when all of those little routines are in and up and running, and maybe a few more sounds and what have you, because I've got some ideas for little sounds on the for swamps as well. Those little bursting bubbles, I think they should have just a little sound as well going on. I'm thinking like a blub type sound, because it's like something like that in it. I think it probably lends itself to, but yeah. So maybe I don't know. We'll have time to do something background music, a spooky little bit of something in the background. I don't know, but yeah, we'll see what happens. Like I say, okay. So thanks for watching, guys. I'll catch you in the next one. Okay, take care. Bye.